listen, they have to as well on the subject matter.
The police have arrested us here at police to investigate this matter to find out the truth. We want the world to contact it as a family. That's missing is my younger brother, Good Luck. And he's not a thief, he's not an robber. They just arrested him. I was there and my mother was there. We rushed out to the point us gun that we should go back. What is the offense of the young guy you are taking away? They did not make, they just took him away. The commander, he said the guy have no problem. Where they have problem is Elibada, where got the shot in the daytime. And everybody see the person, not in my village.
All right, so once again, sounds, do you sense any similarity? Does it sound like stuff you've heard before with OSPAC and maybe even some other vigilante groups operating in different parts of River State? And once again, I should mention, Emovis, it was promised, was going to be different. But what exactly is the situation with Emovis right now? And I'll be asking you, is Emovis any different from the disbanded OSPAC in Emohua local government area? I hope to get your take on that in the 4 o'clock hour. But I'll be joined by Emohua local government chairman, Dr. Chidi Lloyd, for a conversation on the matter as well in the 4 o'clock hour after the business news. Taking us to 5. The news update comes up at 5 p.m. CVR suspension looms. I believe that's this Sunday. And I remember that it was SERAP, Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project, that went to court in a bid to get the course to order INEC to extend it, the deadline, but that was beyond June 30, I do believe, beyond June 30, the substantive suit. And in order to enable more Nigerians to register, the Commission continued with the CVR beyond 30th June 2022. CVR has already been extended beyond 30th June 2022 for a period of 15 days. By the way, this story was published July 15. That's about 2 weeks ago. That was when INEC officially extended CVR by 2 weeks. Because what happened after the 30th did not suspend the exercise until the antimatter has been striking out SERAP's prayers. INEC officially extended by 2 weeks, which will be elapsing, I believe, on Sunday. So we'll look at that. How is INEC Deputy Director of SERAP on the show today? But I have my doubts. Not certain that's going to happen due to other commitments that he has. But I'd like to get your take on that too, whether or not Kola is able to join the conversation. Headlines at 5:30. That matter takes us till about 6. We got major news at 6 p.m. And a review of everything comes up afterwards till about 7 o'clock. When the show wraps up, the sports gang will be in for extra time. That's a preview of today's show. If there are any changes, you will find out, as long as you stay tuned, of course. We'll get things going now with today's side comments, random stories and random thoughts that came across as I checked out the news earlier on, just a moment. I mentioned that the CVR Ellington is raised in a suit outside the court. It followed information the Emohua Council chairman is already addressing the issues raised in the matter. Okay, well, we'll see how this plays out eventually. The matter is in court. Is the council trying to work out an out-of-court settlement or not? Possibly this might form part of the conversation with Dr. Lloyd on the show today when it comes to. But we'll see how that goes. We'll definitely keep an eye on that situation. Let's see. I do believe I was in a 6-week also set their position after a closed-door meeting on the joint minority Thursday. Do I,
And the reason in the Senate, we're of the opinion that we'll also join them in the same way. They have given 6 to 8 weeks.
NigeriaInfo. Keep your dial locked for sustainable development. The grassroots. Here
I'm still on with my side comments for today. PDP caucus of the House of Reps has joined in the caucus of the National Assembly on Thursday. And that's what he had to say.
Having looked at all these scenarios and the reason behind why our colleagues walked out in the Senate, we are of the opinion that we'll also join them in the same way. They have given 6 to 8 weeks for Mr. President to address the insecurity that is, of course, affecting this nation. And I want to also join on behalf of my colleagues to say that upon the expiration, we will prefer ways of ensuring that we'll gather all the signatures.
He also spoke on the security situation in the FCT.
Kuje prison was invaded. A few days back, some very, very important Nigerians who are their youth in the armed forces were butchered by the insurgents. And as if that was not enough, the Minister of Education gave an instruction that all our children should leave, vacate their various schools. Yesterday, the FCT Minister directed that all private schools be closed. And I house advising my colleagues that
is going to resolve the issues. I guess the honorables in the National Assembly can determine that for themselves. However, well, also it's been said that, better late than never. But one can't help but wonder why there's this emergence, so to speak. Some states in the north, severally at different times, schools were shut down. Been going to school for a while. Students have been killed in the 100 years now. I'd like to play the second clip once again.
Kuje prison was invaded. A few days back, some very, very important Nigerians who are their youth by...
And that's sad. Nobody should be killed. But other Nigerians are killed on a daily basis. Is it because, according to him, some very, very, very important Nigerians are being killed? Is that it? That's why we're screaming impeachment now, because some very, very, very important Nigerians are being killed. How about all the other Nigerians that are being killed on a daily basis in the thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, thus far?
The insurgents. And as if that was not enough, the Minister of Education gave an instruction that all our children should leave their schools.
A lot of our children have vacated their various schools all over the country. In the states, we have children who missed examinations because some groups are determined that there must be a lockdown or sit at home, all kinds of things. And especially in the north there as well, these things have become commonplace. Are those children of...
Yesterday, the FCT Minister directed that all private schools be closed. And I gave a warning on the floor of the House, advising my colleagues that Abuja is no longer safe.
Yeah, where exactly in the country has been safe before now? Where exactly? So when different parts of the country were burning, why weren't we screaming? Why were impeachment then? Why weren't they collecting signatures for impeachment then? Because very, very, very important. By the way, it's sad that is killed. It's sad that, any member of our armed force, sad that anybody is killed. You don't have to be a very, very, very important Nigerian for us to take killings of Nigerians seriously. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Am I overthinking it? Maybe I am. I don't know. Now, and members of the armed forces have assured President Muhammadu Buhari that a new strategy, which one is this? Is this Operation Technical Decimation or technical? Because technical defeat strategy did not work. They have been defeated technically like 1 million times now. That hasn't worked. So what's going to be the latest strategy? Can someone help me out, please, via WhatsApp on 0809 030 6416? What are we going to call this one? Because technical defeat has not worked. We've got reports severally that Boko Haram and, ISWAP, the terrorists, have been technically defeated. That hasn't worked. So what's going to work now? What do you think might be the new approach? If you can find just 2 words for it, something that goes with technically defeating or technically defeated. 2 words. Help me out via WhatsApp. I'll come back to that shortly. Now, once again, the armed forces have assured the president a new strategy will be adopted to deal with those terrorizing the country. National Security Advisor Major General Babagana Monguna spoke to journalists after the Security Council meeting with the president in Abuja on Thursday. And here's a bit of what he had to say to newsmen who questioned him on what was discussed during that meeting.
The members of the armed forces have also made a commitment that in the coming weeks, they've already started working on a new strategy to deal with these snippets of violence. Council is in the process of winding up the special investigative panel on the Kuje incident, and the idea is to come up with recommendations.
What recommendations? Why haven't these recommendations been given before now? We've been dealing with this for years now, literally for years now. One of the major campaign grounds or promises of this administration was to deal with the insecurity, because the previous government of Goodluck Jonathan was considered clueless, had no idea what to do. And the president, being a retired general, had the experience, had the capacity, had the zeal, had the seriousness and the decisiveness and the political will to deal with the insurgents. What's going on now? A new strategy now in 2022 when you're leaving office just a few months from now? What new strategy are we talking about? Why hasn't this wonderful, why hasn't this mother of all strategies been thought up or been used before now? Why? And by the way, talking about what this is going to be called, I've got a few suggestions here via WhatsApp. Let's see. Before it was technically defeated, but that hasn't worked. So what's going to work now? Someone says the insecurity before was local insecurity, but now bandits have upgraded to national, so it's now national insecurity. So it calls for concern. Partially and passively defeated Boko Haram. That's Rollins' work here. Technically overcoming. That's back from. That's a good one. That's a good one. Marcia Dule goes, Operation Zuma Rock. Good afternoon, Dial. Maybe they are theoretically defeated. Well, that could be. Covertly defeated. That's King from Port Harcourt. Diet Operation Scientific Undercover Defeat. That's Manny. Technically decimated. That's Chinedu from Chilba. Good afternoon, Dial. It would be technical overtake. Well, maybe that's a good one. Because when they're speeding off on those bikes and the vans, maybe we need to overtake them so we can stop them. All right, we will swipe them. Okay, electrometrically decapitation. All right, politically defeated. That's from Chidi Anderson. Technically neutralized. That's Amos Amigo. Tactically subdued. Okay. Operation Crush Them. Operation Crush Them All. That's from Gote. They will be completely defeated. Operation Smoke Them All Out of the Forest. Microbial defeat. Okay. Operation Last Fight. Bang bang. Oh my goodness. Good afternoon. Maybe they are spiritually defeated. Operation Defeated Already. Clinically and symmetrically eliminated. All right. Operation Operation Smoked Fish. Goodness. Operation Bandits. Bandits must go. Operation Dolphins Dive. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. It's a very serious matter. It's not funny at all. I don't know what's wrong with these people who are sending in all these messages in. It's not funny at all. I don't know why you're making light of a very, very serious matter. We're talking about the lives of people here. Not funny at all. Not funny. But it's a terrible situation, really. It is. And I hope they find the final operation for this one. The final Operation Senators Dance. Oh my goodness. Not funny at all. Not funny. Federal High Court in Abuja has granted a suspended Accountant General of the Federation, Idris Ahmed, and his co-defendants bail with condition given by the EFCC. A trial judge, Justice Adeyemi Ajayi, gave the ruling on grounds the allegations against the defendants are yet to be proven. A trial has commenced immediately after the ruling on bail application. Idris and his co-defendants are facing a 14-count charge bordering on theft and criminal breach of trust to the tune of 109.5 billion naira preferred against them by the federal government. So it might not be long. It might not be long before the Accountant General or the suspended Accountant General, Idris Ahmed, and his co-defendants begin to contract all kinds of strange diseases and strange illnesses that cannot be treated in Nigeria, and they will need to go overseas for foreign medical attention, and they will require their passports to go for foreign medical attention. And if it's not granted immediately, the request for foreign medical attention is not granted immediately, somebody might come to court in an ambulance. They may need to park the ambulance right inside the court premises, because if you move him out of the ambulance, he might die. In the past, you needed to use crutches or a walking stick or a wheelchair. I think somebody has anybody been stretchered into the court before? I'm not sure about that. I mean, actually stretchered into the court. They can't stand, they can't sit. I don't know. Maybe that will happen. Maybe that will happen. Or the person will arrive in an air ambulance, on a chopper, a helicopter. Maybe. Anyways. We'll see how that one plays out as well. So many matters caught. I do have to move on to today's side comment. I have to, but I think this is very important. Magistrate Court in Port Harcourt has ordered the DSS in Rivers State to produce one Richard Abe in court. Officials of DSS, since the 16th of this month, denied Abe access to his lawyer and family members after arresting him at his home. The court document obtained by a correspondent showed Chief Magistrate Amadina gave the order after lawyer to Richard Abe brought an ex parte motion before it. So I'm hoping the DSS will do the right thing and produce this person, grant him access to his lawyers, his family. If you have a case against him, try him. What appears to be, and I use the word appear, deliberately, what appears to be an impunity being carried out by security agents in the country, and most especially, maybe for some time actually, but the DSS as well, leaves a lot to be desired. You can't just arrest the person. You can't just arrest a person and believe that you have a right to do with them whatever you want because you are DSS. No, it doesn't work that way. Because you wear suits and dark shades. No. And you have a license to bear firearms. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Anyways. I think I'll leave off the side comments on that note. I really, really, really do have to move on. I wish I had some more time though, but I do have a rant coming up as well. So I have to move on from that. Well, that's it for today's side comments. You want to express your thoughts on any of those things, join me after the 6 p.m. major news and we'll look into those. But a quick break. When I return to this round comes on, please stay tuned.
You are tuned in to 92.3 Nigeria Info.
And that's it. That's the break. So, welcome. Still hard fact to Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dyer. We're having Port Harcourt's biggest conversation. Time for today's rant. Something in my mind, I'm expressing some thoughts on it. You're very, very welcome to express your thoughts of mine all the way till 4 p.m. The police. Not just the police, by the way. The entire security apparatus of Nigeria and those who are at the helm of affairs as far as these security agencies are concerned, consistently, as a matter of fact, they never waste any time, they never waste any opportunity in reminding us that security is everyone's responsibility. Security is everybody's responsibility. We all have roles to play. We all have responsibilities to play. Even the National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Bongune, also made a comment regarding that after the Security Council meeting, and he was addressing journalists. Like I said, they never miss an opportunity to remind all of us that beyond those primarily tasked with the job of securing lives and property, members of the Nigerian security apparatus, the armed forces, including the police, civilians, the rest of the population have responsibilities as well. the police and other security agencies will remind us as often as they possibly can that they need intelligence, they need information from the public to solve crime. And that we all partners in this effort to reduce crime to the barest minimum in our society. But the question is, how can you call somebody your partner when all that you do is look for new ways, invent and reinvent new ways to traumatize them, to decapitate their minds, bodies and spirits, to subdue them, to oppress them, to traumatize them, to maltreat them, to torture them, and even destroy them, and even in some cases kill them? How do you expect to get any kind of reasonable partnership or cooperation from these people that you refer to as partners when all your waking thoughts and sleeping thoughts is how you are going to oppress Nigerians or the civilian populace the next day? And a classic example of this, nothing strange really, this was reported on our news earlier on. An iron bender promised in Wosi has accused men of the anti-cultism unit in Port Harcourt of assaulting him for refusing to catch a man they were pursuing who ran past him. And Wosi, who had a swollen face and injuries, cried as he narrated the incident to our correspondent. He said he had gone for some work at 8 on South Road yesterday morning when the person started beating him. Here's what. Okay, just a moment. Okay, here we are.
This morning, I go to work, rain dey fall, so I can't come down from make I go barb my head. As I finish to barb, I come outside from the saloon, buy card. So I dey hear noise, catch am. As I look outside, that the court is in the pursue person. The boy don't run pass. The man come walk and meet me where I stand. Say why I no catch the person. I say I don't know wetin dey happen. I come buy card. I no fit catch anybody. He start to beat me, just they beat me. I say oga wetin I do? Say I no catch. Who run pass? I say I no know the person. They carry gun, hit me for eye. My teeth they pain me. I don't use gun flog me. I no do anything.
And also said when he reported to the leader of the team, he threw a 1,000 naira note at him to go get treatment. He said he lost his smartphone when they were beating him. Now, I know the automatic reaction of police to this, or most members of the police, and even the police hierarchy is, no, that's what you people always do. You people will not investigate this matter properly. Do you know what happened? Do you know what happened before that man was beaten like that? You don't know what led to him being beaten. You don't know. People will just see one part of it and be reporting one part of it. The question I would like to ask is, what in the name of the Constitution, what inherent in our laws would give these operatives of the anti-cultism unit the permission or the right to beat him, even if he was the criminal that they were after, even if it was the one they were trying to apprehend? What right would they have to unleash this kind of terror on him, let alone who somebody reportedly was just a bystander, minding his own business, trying to eke out a decent living, to fend for himself and possibly other dependents as well, because somebody they were chasing ran past him, reportedly, he was beaten up. And yet, you would expect this fellow to provide information to the police tomorrow. You would say, see something, say something. You would expect Mr. Promise in Wosi to see a crime being committed tomorrow and then look for the nearest police station to report that too. You would expect that. How do you think he would respond even if he got credible information about some major crime about to be committed when he remembers what he suffered at the hands of the anti-cultism unit personnel? What reason would he have? What would be his motivation to pass on such information to the police? What? Why would he bother? So, it's not enough to say that you people don't know, you people don't know, you people don't know, you people don't know what happened. You people will not know what happened. No policeman can do a thing like that. Policemen are not mad. Policemen are not mad. They're not insane. They don't just see somebody and start beating it. You people talk as if policemen are mad. As if they are insane. How can a policeman just see a citizen and just start beating him like that? How? Well, that is the question of the century, because at least about 200 million Nigerians are still wondering how as well. Why these things that we know happen every day are happening. And I hope CPA Booker Friday will investigate this matter and not sweep it under the carpet like many other such cases. On that note, I end my round. Thanks for listening. Hope you were on board. Let's get your take on mine. Stick with a few minutes ago. My lines are open. Call 0817 93 0002, 0817 93 0003, or 0817 93 0007. We're live on Facebook and Twitter at NigeriaInfo PH. WhatsApp is on 0809 030 6416. Via what we think we've heard it all, that we'll come up with another one. Where on earth can this happen? Hard to believe, when you hear this. It's hard to comprehend that police college and who was trained would do a thing like that. It's unthinkable, really. It's unimaginable. If it weren't something that we've become so accustomed to and something we hear of and transpires in our environment almost on a daily basis. I've got Matthew in the line. Hello, Matthew. You're welcome. Please go ahead. Okay, Matthew is having a side conversation with somebody else. He may need to call in later on. But let's get your take as well. Once again, via Facebook and Twitter, NigeriaInfo PH. WhatsApp on 0809 030 6416. Call 0817 93 0002 or 0003 or 0007. Let's see. Via WhatsApp, are we sure we still have real police officers in Nigeria? Oh yes, as a matter of fact, we do. I know that we do. I had a conversation with a police officer just a couple of days ago, and I must say, I was thoroughly impressed. He's a truly fine gentleman, an example of what the police should be. So we do have fine police officers. We do have just impossible, really. On Facebook goes, Di, good afternoon. I think what I have to say now is just to agree to, because we are sick and tired of these insecurity issues. It is disturbing indeed. Collins from my one, you're welcome. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Dara.
Go ahead, please.
We that is living at my one here, that is what we see. Massive arrange, you just come around and they will pick us and they will go and lock up at my one there. So call your people for 5,000. Sometimes if we will not reach at the my one, you say call your people. They'll come and pay at the road, or you owe your ATM card. See where you go withdraw. There was a time inside this my one police station have ATM machine. Inside my one police station have
no, hold on. ATM is different from POS. Are you sure it's an ATM?
I'm telling you, there was a time, it's no longer there. There was a time there is ATM machine inside my one.
Wow.
I'm staying at Job. I'm born in Job. At least they have not arrested me. They have arrested more than 5 or 6 times without doing anything. So as I am, I cannot see anything. I say anything. No. Let me just say today, I'm telling my mind, I cannot see. If I can report to the vigilante than to report to them. Because they will first arrest first. Thank you.
All right, Collins. You heard the man. He's concerned that if he sees anything and says anything, he might be the first casualty. You know, it's horrendous. How can you call people partners, and you live with them? You don't live in space. Yeah, this our wonderful officers in the Nigeria Police Force and especially River State Command. You don't live in space. You don't live on Mars. You don't live on the moon. You live here. You live with the people. You live amongst us. And nobody is bulletproof. They say there's some people that do odeshi. Well, I don't know. But nobody is bulletproof, really. There's no one that can't be attacked. You need the people. And the security agents and the agencies, they know that. And that's what they constantly say. If you see something, say something. Provide us with information. We can't do it alone. Hello, Hard Fact, you're welcome. Hello. Hi, go ahead, please. Hello, go ahead.
Like that man we are chasing. Don't you think that if I thought the man, they are chasing the man with gun and they couldn't get at him? What does they started beating? What about if he happened to hold that man and that man takes his knife into his stomach or so? Don't you think the officers, they will turn around and say that was the man they were pursuing? Hello, Dyer.
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know if that would have happened, but maybe. I don't know.
Okay, that's my take. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And via Twitter at Ike02802 Twitter. In our country, when crime happens in a community, the police will come 5 or 12 hours after the incident to arrest and harass innocent citizens going about their lawful businesses whilst forcing them to bail themselves. After such crazy incidents, you expect people to help you with info. Is it the people they've arrested and beaten that will provide the info? Or is it the parents, guardians and family members of the victims that will provide info to the police? And that's a good question. Got a break now. Stay with us.
Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
Are you running late and can't make it down to our Room OC office to book your commercials? Don't worry, because you can take advantage of
And now, Hard Facts. Hard Facts with Dio.
Welcome, actually, Hard Factor 90.3 NigeriaInfo here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dio. 8 minutes come past 4 p.m. Conversation continues. Many thanks for staying tuned. And, we're still having Port Harcourt's biggest conversation over here, talking for development. You're welcome to be a part of it as well. The matter we're discussing right now has to do with MOVs and other matters that concern MOI local government area and the polity in Rivers State politics and, of course, of the coming general elections 2023. And, of course, we can't do all of that without discussing the PDP as well, especially here in Rivers State and even at the national level also. We'll come to my guest in a moment, but here are some of the recent developments mandated, if you will, that we have this conversation by the deep in speed. Now, also launched members of this. Speaking during the event, CBA council agencies and the fight against crime. A lot was promised by Adinwa across the areas in Rivers State, OSPAC. What are some of the more recent developments that made it onto our news in the last family late to deceased in the BC Augustine to the respondent. The brother would have survived, but the MOV's member bundled him into the boot.
They shot him and killed him. So when they killed him, they put him in the boot. Then when they put him in the boot, he was still alive then. So he said, I was flying Gary before you met me. So they refused. They carried my brother in the boot. Somebody they shot at his body and leg came inside the boot and died just for nothing.
Mr. claimed in an attempt to hide the crime, members of MOVs buried his late brother in a shallow grave in the bush. Immediately, they confirmed that he was dead.
As if that was not enough, they carried him and buried him around all that whole bush. Sorry, on the shallow go ask with their boys. They spent almost 3 hours to bring the boy they buried. So they brought him from the ground. There was sand everywhere, his ears, his nose. Somebody buried like that, just as if he doesn't have anybody. So they just buried him, trying to cover up. So when they brought him, they now use the canopy something to wrap him, use bandage wire and bind him with the canopy. They now brought him to the police station. I now told the king that you have killed my brother.
Now, a member of the MOVs, God knows Wakanma, accused of shooting to death one Chijoke Augustine, has been handed over to the State Criminal Investigation Department for interrogation. Wakanma is reported to have pulled his trigger when members of MOVs went in search of the Cold gang that killed their member in Ilibrada over the weekend. Spokesperson of the Rivers State Police Command, Grace Iringe Koko, confirmed his attention to our correspondent and said investigations into the matter has been ordered by the Commissioner of Police. But another matter also regarding MOVs on our news lately. Family of Goodluck NGK missing since Monday this sometime last week, I do believe. Calling on of in Emoha local government was allegedly wished away by members of MOVs. Elder brother to the missing man, Emmanuel Anyike, said he witnessed when the MOVs members took him away and is calling on the public, including the River State government, to prevail on them to disclose the whereabouts of his brother. Let's also take a quick listen to what he had to say to our correspondent on this development.
My brother, they arrested, they are moving. The police have arrested them, they have tortured them. Yes, they are not still telling us his whereabouts. Police to investigate this matter to find out the truth. We want the world to come to our aid as a family. The person missing is my younger brother, Goodluck. And he's not a thief, he's not an robber. They just arrested him. I was there and my mother was there. We rushed out to the point us gun that we should go back. What is the offense of the young guy you are taking away? They did not make, they just took him away. The commander, he said the guy have no problem. Where they have problem is a little brother, where they shot in the daytime. And everybody see the person, not in my village.
All right. Well, I'm asking you, John, the been carried out with the disbanded OSPAC in MOA local government area. What difference would you say thus far is MOA?
Well, Dio, I feel very pain that all my efforts at rebranding and redirecting with a very altruistic and make it everybody. I came on board a group named Change of Orientation, got the police, the DSS, everybody involved with a view to ensuring that we have a safe local government. And only for me, shortly after the commissioning of the facility, which I took time to painstakingly put on the 13th, only for this kind of families who have lost loved ones. What happened? I thank God for the divisional police officer in Rumuji, who immediately swung into action and informed the 2 personnel that were involved. That attention of the vigilante. I said, you recall that I sponsored a bill to the legislature, which was eventually passed. And that bill has provisions, which includes that personnel of them of our vigilante are not in committing the felony, which that will be for the police to unravel, and who are currently studying. For the one in Elibrada, in a very year was about the care of his sick father, was shot in the broad daylight. Nobody has any right to take another person's life. So the major that they would unravel what had happened. But I want to say that that what has happened is an isolated case. It still does not put a question sign on the entire operation and intendment of the vigilante. There are still good ones there, just like we have in the police force. We've heard of policemen who also offend the law. But what is important in this case, Dio, is that we have put in place a system that punish our personnel when they it will be uncharitable to just a system that will punish anybody who commits any act of brigandage, including taking anybody's functions. Besides these people, I think others who are here have had
interest very strongly that you admit as well that all is not well.
Absolutely. Look, you know, Dio, the good luck I have is that I have the opportunity of attending to you whenever you call on me. I'm available for this.
My question is, so having admitted that something is wrong, the question then arises, because you sat in that chair, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that it should have been initiated even long before now, but you took extra effort to ensure you came out a complete package, and yes, names that were submitted to you earlier on, yes, you denied, you rejected those names, absolutely, insisting you wanted the proper persons, you wanted the proper system in place. Now, in spite of all of that effort, this is the creation of law. It's not often that we have vigilante groups set up by creation of law, which is the question many ask sometimes. Other vigilante groups that exist in different parts of the state, who are they answerable to?
Well,
but you put proper processes and systems in place for this setup. What then went wrong?
Dio, you're just like asking me, why would Jesus Christ, the Son of God, choose Judas? That is what it means. Nobody gave Judas to Jesus. Jesus chose him among the 12, and it was the same Judas who sold him. You can imagine when you're dealing with human beings, and this was why I took steps to ensure that they do not act recklessly.
But I think they have a board.
Local government, without prejudice to party affiliation, moving, but I heard that nobody should tamper with investigation. I've given clear directives, and of course, to that extent, the DPO had also transferred this matter to the state criminal investigation department. They are on it. So I wouldn't want to say anything that will prejudice. But what we are doing is that our eye will continue to be on the ball. We would not allow this incident to distract us from our core value. And that's what we are doing.
Now, since the command of MOVs is in police custody right now, what then happens to the running
and leadership of MOVs? When this happened, I immediately suspended the commander and his deputy who were involved in this ugly incident. And we have an acting commandant, an acting commander who is taking care of business. And of course, this also brings to the fore that we are going to train and retrain personnel Most of them, because of them, they are recruited by us. There were nominations made from the communities to us. A good number of them are still living in that past. Still living in the past. When I say what used to be.
Pardon me, Dr. Lon. So I want to go for a quick commercial break. We'll return in a moment. Conversation continues. Stay with us.
When knowledge meets action, information liberates. How
To expert
28 minutes ago, before 5 o'clock, my guest, Dr. discussing the development in MOH local government vis-a-vis allegations that MOVs is on a rampage on the matters of MOH and the party coming up shortly. But Dr. Lloyd, similar fan on the MOV situation, not the first time, of course, that members of vigilante groups, either in MOH or elsewhere for that matter, have been fingered for contravening the law. What has been the practice, the norm over time, is that there's a lot of noise created over it, some outrage, and after a while, the whole thing dies down, and the person who are alleged to have been perpetrators of whatever heinous crime it is are seen back in those communities. Even still speak, is it going to be the same?
Nobody will be lawless under my watch, because it may be those who were killed, who were killed in Odo, and it is not proper. It's not correct to say that the MOVs is on rampage. No. What has happened is that some of his personnel have acted or traversed their powers, and they are going to pay for it. They are going to, according to, they will be dealt with in accordance with the law. First, the police will investigate and take it up from there. Even in the Bible, it has not been. It is not yet Uhuru would put in Satan away. That is why we have churches go every Sunday. Some have weekly programs, all with a view to permanently putting out Satan. But it happens from January 1 to December 31st. You know, so it is not yet Uhuru with Satan. He will not been able to take Satan out of our polity. That is how it is in every human endeavor. Even the police. When I was privileged to be detained there sometime in 2013, I also saw policemen in cell. In fact, police have its own cell. Were it not so, you will not have lexicons such as court martial and all that in the military lexicon. What that means is that they perceive that some of his personnel could fall short of the law. But the most important thing is that there are strategies to deal with those who have infracted the law. And this will serve as clear signal to those other personnel who remain to know that when you act outside the law, the chairman of council will not be there for you. So it will also it will go a long way in taming them. You know, some of them still exist in the 2016s, 2017s, where worse things had happened, but families couldn't cry out. Now we have given voice to families to cry out when they perceive high-handedness. That year we came into a local government where members of what was OSPAC were now dealing with matrimonial causes, flogging husbands before their wives, tying up chiefs, and throwing them into dungeons and so on. So it was a Herculean task for us to be able to streamline the activities of this vigilante. Hence the law. Yet it's not been easy, but we will not relent. We will get it right.
I'm sure that the good people of MOH and even other parts would wish you the very best and hope you succeed with that. But let's move from MOVs now to this matter on our news. Industrial Court in Port Harcourt has adjourned to 13 October the case between some aggrieved MOH local government council staff and the council chairman, Dr. Chidi Lloyd, and two others. Presiding Judge Justice Nelson Agwanya adjourned the case after directing the lawyer to the aggrieved MOH staff to write Dr. Chidi Lloyd over his intention to address the issues raised in the suit outside the court. Followed information that the MOH council chairman is already addressing the issues raised in the matter. And the question, without attempting to predetermine what the court might decide, but are you right now invested in an out-of-court settlement as far as this matter